Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is our snack for the journey. And the snack for the journey this week we are in the book of Job. Job is a beautiful book talking about suffering. We all will experience suffering in our lives. All of us. There is no way that you're going to pass through this life without being touched by suffering. All of us will have one degree or the other, one area or the other. We're going to face that. And Job help us to react, to understand all those things. And there's important lessons for our lives during this time of suffering that we are going to go through eventually. And I'd like to share another verse with you this today. It's in chapter 2, verse 13. When Job starts suffering, three friends came to him. Eliphaz, Bildad, and Shuhite. The Shuhite and Zophar. So it's Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. They came and they saw the suffering of Job. And the verse 13, chapter 2, verse 13 says this: Then they sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him because they saw how great his suffering was. Friends, they just sat there, and we understand that there's some sufferings in our lives, in the lives of other people, that there is no words to. Job here, he lost everything. He lost his wealth, he lost his children, he lost his health. Boom, everything, one after the other, and they came and they saw him. And they just could not say a word. And they sat there without saying anything. And this is very important. This is very important because sometimes we're going to see people going through sufferings and we don't have a word. We don't, oh, I'm so sorry. We have the same words, but they are not. They do not translate, they do not explain, they do not mean. It's deeper than that, and the words cannot go there. And sometimes we just sit there and stay with them. And these brothers here, these friends here, they should stay quiet, but they could not. The rest of the book, at least good part of the book, is when they open their mouth, because Job started complaining in the sense that he didn't understand what was going on, and he started asking questions. And then those guys, they start trying to answer or explain to Job what was going on in his life. And they came against Job and said, Job, you need to find a sin in your life, because probably you were suffering because you were a sinner, and you need to find a sin, confess, and then everything is going to be okay. And they bound Job on that, and Job kept saying, no, I'm right, I didn't do anything. No, you did. You need to find out, you need to confess. And it's if they just stay quiet, it would be great. But they start saying, and poor Job, and he answered those guys. Like, say, prove to me that I'm wrong. And they did not understand. And this is the lesson for us here. Remember the first verse that we saw, that what is going on in this whole story is God talking with Satan and making the decision what's going to happen. So they don't know. So they try to explain and find a reason for Job going through all those sufferings, and that reason is wrong. Job was not suffering because he was a sinner, because he sinned, because he did something wrong. No. For them, the suffering of Job was a mystery and should stay like that until God explained the whole thing. But they decided to find out what is going on, and it was the whole book. It was a battle between Job and the friends, because they are trying to convince him that he did something wrong, and this is why he's suffering, and he's saying, no, I didn't, I don't know what I did, and he tried to. And people will do that, right? People will come to our lives when we're going through tough situations, and they have all the explanations, all the reasons. They know what is going on, and they have no idea what is going on. And we need to be careful when our friends and other people face this kind of situation. We should be careful not to judge them, because sometimes we can see the reason. Sometimes it's so clear. They did this and this happened. It's so clear. Then we can go there and say, hey, it's clear. But sometimes we have no idea, so we should not offer our opinion, because we don't know why they are going through that situation. We should offer comfort, our presence, words of comfort, and this is it. Stay right there. Don't go further than that. Because we don't know, we don't understand, we don't know what God is doing in their lives. And we're just going to give our opinion. Sometimes our opinion are wrong, like they did. And at the end of the book, God's going to talk with them and say, hey, you're wrong. And God said to Job to pray for them, so God will forgive them. It's a very interesting thing that happened. But just be a friend. Just be a friend. When you see a friend suffering, just be a friend. That is the lesson that we learn here with those guys. And this is our snack for the journey. God bless you.